I am excited today. We have Mr. Alejandro Celudo with PG&E that will be sharing some insight with us on how to do business with PG&E. So I'm fully excited for this. For those watching, as you can tell, this is one of our many episodes. So we have more episodes coming. And if you haven't checked out the ones from previous segments, please feel free to do so. But as I mentioned, we have Mr. Alejandro Celudo, who is the Principal Supply Chain Responsibility for PG&E. Alejandro, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Karla. I'm very happy to be here to work with you.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about PG&E?
Of course. PG&E stands for Pacific Gas and Electric. It's a company incorporated in California in 1905. We're one of the largest combined natural gas and electric energy companies in the U.S. The company has approximately 23,000 employees. We cover about 30,000 square miles in Northern and Central California, and we serve about 16 million people throughout our territory. PG&E and other energy companies in the state are regulated by the California PUC, which is the one that can give us the guidelines for a supplier diversity program. Some fast facts about PG&E. Our service stretches all the way from Eureka in the north to Bakersfield in the south, from the Pacific to the Sierra Nevada in the east. We have about 106,000 circuit miles of electric distribution and 42,000 miles of natural gas distribution. And we have about 5.5 million electric customers accounts in the territory.
Wow. Very impressive for those that didn't know. And with that, Alejandro, what does a business need to do business with PG&E?
We procure around $10 billion a year, and close to 40% of that comes from diverse companies, directly and or subcontracting. A company does business with us directly or a subcontractor with our prime vendors, as I mentioned. We are almost 120 years old. We have thousands of suppliers. The process to become a supplier is something sometimes long, that you should consider that, and it's very, very competitive. We have a portal where interested suppliers can register. This information is then shared within the company, and the supplier may be contacted if there is a need or a match. You can Google it. It's PG&E Supply Chain Responsibility or pgne.com/supply chain responsibility without spaces.
Okay. So what are you looking for in a supplier or a contractor?
We're looking for competitive and experienced suppliers. We're looking for suppliers that are safe, reliable, embrace sustainable practices and diversity inclusion, and suppliers that are cost competitive, innovative, and so on. So we're really looking for the best in the class in multiple areas.
Okay, fantastic. So the key thing is they need to register with PG&E under their supplier responsibility portal.
Yes.
Perfect. And then, so can you tell us a little bit about some of like the top 5 services or products that PG&E procures?
Yes, of course. Currently, we have, for example, a couple contract opportunity announcement listed on our website. If not wrong, there are about professional services right now and management consulting. Beside these areas, we spend quite some money on construction, IBW work mainly, and some line work and civil work. Estimating, there's another area where we spend quite some money. Vegetation management is very, very important for us and has been growing through the last years. Traffic control, that's another specific area where we will be spending some substantial amounts of money. You may have heard that we announced last year that we'll be underground in 10,000 miles of our electric lines. So this is going to be a multi-year project. We are working on ramping it up. It's going to be a lot of what I mentioned. It's going to be a lot of work for California.
Well, that's fantastic. So those that are watching this that are interested in possibly doing business with PG&E, I mean, the big thing is go ahead and get registered so that you're known in their database, and then hopefully are made aware of these opportunities as they come out. And then with that, Alejandro, what are some of the common mistakes that you see with some of your suppliers or vendors that come across or contractors?
Before getting there, we are updating some information on our website about the undergrounding, for example, and it's very simple. Just Google PG&E undergrounding. You will be able to read the most updated information about some of the projects. In the past, we had the EV charging too, so you just Google PG&E EV charging, and it will take you to a very comprehensive website where you can read on how we are not only executing this project, but opportunities for vendors to engage. Common mistakes. The most common mistake is when a company approaches us without a clear understanding of what is that they could do for us. That is the main I think mistake, because it delays getting to know the company, and also doesn't represent well when the company doesn't really know what they can do for you. They come and say, "I'm an engineering firm." Okay, but in what? Engineering is so vast. Do you have experience on distribution? Within distribution, do you experience underground, on overhead, and so on? So I advise anyone that before they approach to us, do some homework, do your homework. One piece of information that is very good for you to get to know what is that we do is our annual report. You can just Google PG&E Supplier Diversity Report, and it will take you to PDF. It's also on our website, the one I mentioned before, and you can read where is that we spend most of our monies, and a lot of information about our supply chain responsibility program. The other source is our website. Please visit it and see what is that we do, what is that we buy, and that will help you probably put together a value proposition for us. The other mistake that is quite common and unfortunate is that some companies do not consider subcontracting. Subcontracting is a really good venue, not only to penetrate the utility industry and corporations, but also to gain experience. So those are I think the main two mistakes that I have experienced so far.
And that's actually even a tip. So for those that are watching, I mean, don't discount subcontracting opportunities. They're just as valuable and important when we're looking at procurement. So I think that's more of a tip, not a mistake. So I like that, Alejandro. Does PG&E have any supplier diversity goals that they have to meet or that they're looking towards gearing themselves to?
We do. We have multiple goals. For example, the CPUC, the California Public Utility Commission, under General Order 156, provides an aspirational goal of 21.5% on diverse procurement to all the utilities. As mentioned before, we have already exceeded that goal. We're almost at 40%. So yes, we have goals for diverse spending.
That is fantastic. So once again, for those watching, there is a supplier clearinghouse and they will certify you at no cost. So there isn't a cost to get yourself certified. And here are the SBDC Center for Contracting. We can assist you at no cost. And they certify you either minority owned, woman owned, or LGBT. So depending on what you qualify for, I encourage you to seek out those certifications if you're trying to target PG&E. And like Alejandro said, you want to do your research. You want to get to know who PG&E is and what is it that they procure so that you know that you're approaching them in the correct way. And then with that, Alejandro, do you have any final tips or what my contractors that are watching this or suppliers are watching this, a tip for them if they're trying to approach PG&E or thinking about approaching PG&E?
If a company is thinking approaching not only PG&E but other corporations or utilities, I would first of all for them to review their network. They may already have clients on the industry that are working in different tiers. For example, you may be working with you're an engineering firm working with a major engineering firm in a retail project or whatever. That major retail firm, engineering firm, may have already projects with utilities. So you may ask them if they have, and what would you need to work with them as a subcontractor on those projects. You may be already working with, for example, our sister company, not sister company, but our counterpart in Southern California Edison. You may ask the prime you're working there with if they work with PG&E. and what would it take for you to help them also on PG&E work? So and also you may have clients that may be working with PG&E. You can work with them, ask them what is their experience with working with PG&E, how they got the contracts, and also if you can partner with them on some projects. Because let's say you are an engineering firm again and providing service to a construction firm, you may be able to partner with them to go after bigger projects within a utility. So an additional advice there is review your network. You may already have points of contacts with utilities or target corporations.
That's a great tip. That's a really good tip. And then for those two is, as Alejandro's been talking about subcontracting, and go back to certifications, your certifications count as a subcontractor as well too. Don't feel like you have to be the prime. Start small. Like Alejandro says, work your network. You never know what opportunities may be there. So thank you, Alejandro, for that. And thank you for spending the time with us for this little quick interview here. This is going to allow our viewers to get to know PG&E, look at the opportunities that they may not have thought about with PG&E, and really research PG&E and see what can come of that. So I appreciate you for spending time with us and giving us a good inside look at PG&E.
Thank you, Karla. I'm very excited, and thank you for your invitation and looking forward to what else we can do in the future.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And for those watching, keep an eye out for future. We have Chatting Contracts with Karla coming up every 2 weeks. So you'll see more of these videos coming out with great information for you in contracting. Thank you.